he wants to create a normal life. He wants to travel the world and uh, want to help other people and want to get to know different cultures. Although it is not seen well by everyone, especially our society. Our society, our society operates. Our society operates according to its rules. Uh, our society accept. Our society only Mm, another thing I noticed here that people need to learn to say no. Or to say no, although I am not used to saying in my life, in my personal life, I think eh, I think if we want to do something good, we need to say no. We need to say no. At the last part, the last part, the last part of this document seemed very good to me. It said that life is our own. We will live it as we like and we enjoy it. That's all.
All right, Mahabu. All right. It's okay. Then, as thank you, Mahabu. Actually, as I found that today you didn't get much time to read the things I told you to, but actually the others for others. So now, I would like to ask you some one question, and the question I thought of asking you that we know that you already, all of you, the three of you are in university, right? So all of you, you learn, you know that the reason why did you join in a university? Was it for gaining knowledge, the real knowledge to be a better human being, or to get a good job, or to get a better job? Like, because there are some people, they join in the university to prepare the students for the working world, right? But there are some other people who argue that the purpose of a university education is to like provide knowledge for knowledge's sake, like just to gain knowledge. So I want to know your opinion. What do you think? What do you feel about this fact? All of you. I will go one by one and I will ask each one of you the same question. What do you feel? The light that you feel from your viewpoint. I need to know the thing that you feel. Like, there are, I already have mentioned. Could you understand what I tried to ask you? Mamun, did you understand what I tried to ask from this question?
जी मैम.
Right. And if so, then I would like to ask Nadim at first. I think that people, there are many people in this universe, like in this universe, or maybe there are many knowledgeable persons in this in our country, in this continent, or whatever, wherever the people are in this world. They think that gaining knowledge is the main purpose to get into a university, and others say that getting a great better job is the main purpose to get into a university. What do you think? Show your reasons, Nadim.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, basically, all the people wants to get a good job because it's inner reason, but they are not expressed because we are live in a society. So here we cannot speak this kind of statement that we just enter the university only for getting good job. But here have some specific reason. Reason one, the parents are uh, speak right now. Uh, he's one of the uh, one of the mm, one of the good uh, university uh, student,
One of the
and
best universities. One of the
yes,
best
ma'am.
universities,
One
Nadim.
of the, yes, ma'am. One of the best university student, and second one is all the students who want to get a good job. It's a really true thing that if I want to get a good job in in our country perspective, obviously you need to uh, you need to complete your graduation uh, for with a good institute or reputed institution. And the third one is uh, many students or many people wants to be a creative person who is capable many sector. So we all know that university is a
You are capable
university.
in many sectors, Nadim. Capable in many sectors. Okay. Capable
Yes, ma'am.
many sectors.
Capable,
Yeah, capable
capable in
in
many
many
sector.
sectors.
Capable in many sector, and also many student and many people wants to be a creative man. So here uh, we all know that university is a uh, university is a institution. There um, share share all the people or all the teachers and students sharing their knowledge and produce reason. And truly speaking, ma'am, if I can say my perspective, I also be a good and creative uh, people, and I also try to I will try to get a good job.
That means, Nadim, you want to do both. Getting a good job and also be a better human being, right, Nadim? Did I
Yes,
get your
ma'am.
point right?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Right. Thank you, Nadim. Thank you for your opinion. Now I will go to Mamun. What's your opinion about this light, about the fact that we have discussed? Mamun, can you hear me?
जी मैम जी जी
Right, Mamun. I'm asking you to explain your thoughts now.
okay ma'am. First of all, I wanted to say that we know that there are 58 universities in our country, and if you notice that most of the students are middle family. So I wanted to say that
Are from middle class
public,
family, are from middle class, not middle
जी
family,
ma'am,
middle class. Yes.
are from middle class family. So I wanted to say that public university is the best option for doing a public university is the best option for starting middle class families, and obviously it is a point of economical view. And then uh, uh, secondly, job when you will face a viva board. That time, you are a student of public university, and other is a non-public university. The viva board uh, মানে মূল্যায়ন করা ইংরেজিটা কি?
আচ্ছা, মূল্যায়ন করা, will, like the viva board will judge you, judge, you can say judge, বিচার করবে। right? So we'll judge you according to the university that you came from. Is that it you wanted to say, Mamun? Mamun, could you hear me?
Sorry, ma'am, I didn't hear you because my father called me.
All right, all right, all right, all right. Is it urgent? You can, if it's urgent, you can take the call, no problem. Or if not, then we can continue the class.
No, ma'am, it is not urgent. I will call
Okay.
them later.
All right, all right. So, I asked you that, no, I said that the Bhaiba board will judge uh, us or judge the employee or judge the candidate according to the university they came from.
Yes, ma'am. And thirdly, most of the student and most of the parents believe that when their children will go to the university, they will get a better job. And the student also believe that they will get a better job as a result. He admits in the at the university. But ma'am, it is totally wrong. Uh, there is no capability for getting a job. That time you will not get a job. So so
Yes, Mamun.
I think skill is the most important for getting a job. And finally, I wanted to say that from my point of view, a student come to the university uh, for 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 two or three reasons. First of all, economical view. Secondly, getting a good job, and another is uh, he getting he will be a skillful person. Ma'am.
Right, skillful. Actually, Mamun, skillful person, it's okay. You can become a skillful person if you look around your world, and you need to like, you already know, all of you already know that even you, whenever you, if even if you want to get become the first graded officer, which means sit on BCS, sit for BCS exam. So what do? Then you always pay attention to all the subjects, and maybe on on general knowledge, then your math, then Bengali, then English, everything, and also the subject that you studied. So all those things come accordingly. So the thing I told her that to gain knowledge means a different kind of knowledge by which you will get uh, it's a kind of knowledge by which you will get recognized, or maybe you will become a better version of yourself. There are many person in this world who become I have met so many people that maybe they have a great job, but as a human being, from the light of, from the point of being a humanistic nature, of having humanistic nature, they are they will get maybe out of 10, maybe 0 marks. So that's what another thing I wanted to ask, that do you believe that universities also give that kind of knowledge, or just for the job faculties? That's what the point I wanted to ask. Maybe Mamun, now you could understand. So now could you explain again?
Obviously, ma'am, all of the sides are very important for a student. Mathematics, general knowledge, English, all of those are most important for getting a job, ma'am.
Right, right. So that's the point I wanted to ask you, actually. Uh, right. Then, Mahab, what about you? What do you think? Should I repeat the question, or can you explain it?
Please again কোশ্চেনটা বললে আমার ভালো হবে।
I wanted to ask the thing that we know, right, that the primary function or primary reason of a university, like some people say, or some people, there are some people who feel that primary function of a university is to prepare students for the working world, which means getting a better job. The purpose of a university education is to provide a knowledge for, maybe for getting a knowledge in, for their own life, for their, for being a better human being, or maybe for getting some knowledges which we don't get from our normal lives. So that's what I wanted to ask you, which one do you feel is is applicable for you, like getting into an university? All of you are studying, already studying in an and reputed, a reputed university. So I wanted to ask you that what do you feel, what is the reason, and what are the things that you are getting? Are you getting more, are prepared for a job, or you are becoming a better human being or better version of yourself? Which one do you feel you are going to do? That's the thing I wanted to ask, Mahabub.
First of all, every parents wants their sons will be study in any university of Bangladesh. That's why that's why that's um, that's why I am in this position today. But but I think there is no different there is no difference between university and the national university and other. But but mm, some things. But what here is that all the achievement of today are taught in the university, but but the present invention and step by step progress as is getting the best from in the university. Mm, from the university
Yes, Mahabub.
আমি এখন কি বলবো আপনাকে আসতেছে না।
What do you want to say? Speak in Bengali. I can translate it for you, or I can help you. Maybe.
That's true.
That's all. All right. Then, yes, the question I mentioned to Mahabub. Did you get it? The question I asked to Mahabub. Yes, can you listen to me? Am I
Yes,
audible?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Right, Piyash. So the question I asked Mahabub, should I repeat it, or you can
No, ma'am.
explain your?
I
Yes.
understand, ma'am.
All right.
Okay, ma'am. In this perspective, I go through the second point of view that some people says that university are makes for the providing knowledge or acquiring knowledge or
Acha, universities are made for.
providing knowledge or So obviously, it's the second thought that it is the era of the money or the power. So it is also important to involve with a job for making money. So if uh, I can say that it is not necessary to making money to read a university. If you intend to make money or get involved in a job, you can also read or involve with others academic or some physical arts. So university ensure uh, to provide the right knowledge, and it is the place to research and for thesis purpose. Obviously, if you gain the proper knowledge, it is the high chance to get a proper job, but it's not mandatory to uh, give you the purpose for only the job sector. And university provides the thousand of the subject. They don't
Thousand
provide the
subjects. Yeah, 1,000 subjects. And the thing you said, it's pursue. Okay. The other word you mentioned, you should rather use pursue. The pursue knowledge. Okay.
so university are serving thousands of subjects, ma'am. So if they intend to provide job sector, they can there can be opened like practical job site or like this of incident. So my argue that university are made for the providing better knowledge or research purpose, ma'am.
Right. Is that all, Piyash? Is that all you wanted to say about this fact?
Okay, ma'am. I can also add something about this thought, ma'am. And some protest that it is important to gain a job or making money because it is impossible to live without money or job. So obviously, if a student do his duty properly, gain his knowledge properly in his subjective knowledge or in academic sector, obviously there is a chance to get a proper job, and it's the uh, quality of students if he do his duty properly. And obviously in the university, the campus are made for the student chair, and obviously students and teacher mm, create their own culture to live a beautiful life. So obviously it is a crucial uh, term for his life schedule during 6 or 7 years. So obviously if you gain such a wonderful moment in this uh, campus area, obviously it lead you to provide a beautiful life, and obviously it is easy for a student to mess up with any culture in the world, man. So obviously, first of all, university provide the knowledge or academic session, and obviously later on it helps to gain a better job or uh, lead this to live a beautiful life, ma'am.
All right, yes. Thank you. Thank you for your opinion. Uh, Actually, both the ways goes in a roundabout way because we need both the things there are the likewise I said I was saying sometime before that there are many people whom we see that they are not human, they are not that much humanitic actually, because they become after gaining that much maybe respect, they start to see people in a different light, and they misbehave with people, a great university and the great companionship, and the companionship of your professors are also the most important thing that you need. And the you know the whenever you are going to a university, you are joining a university, you get to know a lot of people. There are people from different cultures, from different circumstances, from different families, from and if you compare this to it this with Vishwarati, then I think there are many people who come here, okay, come here from different countries also. I had a friend from Italy, then another one from America, and another person from Russia. So all of these people come together and they get into one thing and becomes and their culture gets mixed up, and all of them become like a thing like a hodgepodge like kind of thing, but they get to know one another's culture and they don't become a frog of a well, rather than they get into see and gets to see whatever it is in front of them. So I think knowledge is the main thing that they acquire. Of course, getting a job is not that much of a hard work. Even if you are like reading in any normal colleges, you can also get a good job if you are studying, because the way the maybe you will have to feel some or some go through some problems while getting while giving interviews. Maybe that's when they will see you in a different light. Maybe you will not be treated that much well if you are from a normal college, I think. It's my own perspective, I don't know. And if you think that the universities that, and these topics, this you go to the IELTS, we go to give the IELTS exams, these random questions, like these random questions can also be asked to you. So that's why I'm bringing this up to you. So you should have a better concept of this, so that you can say not any random things, but things that they will by which they will understand that you have better understandings, you have better knowledge, you have better informations about these things, right? So that's the thing you could say here, right? So now I think I will go to another topic, and that's the thing I want to ask you. Nowadays, the by the social medias and by the mobile phones, by the laptops and everything else that are surrounding us all, and we are always being very much busy within in the lifestyle, that to show up ourselves to people, and we are showing up our things, and I'm not even different from them, right? So we are all doing those kind of things. So even though that there are some people who don't do these things, and but the thing I want to ask you that that there are some people still nowadays, there are some people who read books just for getting pleasure, and maybe just for getting a better understanding of the nature of human beings, or maybe the nature of this world, and whatever it is, maybe some philosophical thoughts, the thing they are interested in. uh, so there are many people who like to read, and who like to read for and they think that they are getting becoming a better person each day. And there are some other people who prefer watching television. And there are, I've already told you that there are many novels. We already have discussed about it, that there are novels and there are cinemas, and the adaptation of them. There are many versions of adaptation from novels to a movie, or maybe some short stories into a movie. So whatever it is, so people also get pleasure from TV channels, right? So I want to ask you, the thing is that, do you think whenever a person gets to read a book, they become more imaginative, their imaginary ideas, their imaginations become stronger? And while watching television, actually by watching television, it actually hinder মানে হলো বাধা দেওয়া, so it actually hinders their imagination, their imaginary qualities. Do you think, what do you think, like, do you agree with this or disagree? What do you think? I will first go to Mamun. Mamun, what do you think? What is your thoughts, that do you feel that while reading a book, whenever a person reads a book, they feel that their imagination, and they get to imagine things that they have seen in front of their eyes, even though it's not actually happening. They just go through the books, they read between the lines, and they understand, they imagine things. And while watching television, they get to see just through their eyes, that they don't have to use their imagination. So is it hindering, like watching television, is it hindering our imaginative power? What do you think?
All of those instruments, watching television and book, can make a imaginary scene, because I'm a reader of
Acha,
many books.
Mamun, Mamun, I'm sorry,
Jim,
I'm interrupting you. Actually, instruments, you can use instrument for the things you use for music. হ্যাঁ, মিউজিকের জন্য আমরা ইনস্ট্রুমেন্ট ইউজ করি, বাট হেয়ার ইলেকট্রনিক ডিভাইসেস, ওকে, ইউজ ইলেকট্রনিক ডিভাইস।
okay, ma'am. Jim, ma'am. Watching television and book, are all of those uh, are create an imaginary scene in a in a reader and a
ইন রিডার অ্যান্ড
ম্যাম ওই টিভি দেখে আর কি ওই লোকটা অন্য একটা বলতে চাচ্ছি
মানে
ওই
কি
টেলিভিশন
বলতে
ভিউয়ার
চাইছি?
টেলিভিশন ভিউয়ার আর কি যে টেলিভিশন দেখে
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, রাইট, দেন
উম, I have read some kind of book in my leisure time. When I read a book, I can realize that uh, I will go through. I will go. I am going through a imaginary scene. That's mean when I read a novel, and this novel make some imaginary scene in my mind, and it is obviously unimaginable. And when I will uh, I will watch a television, and that time in our in my mind. So I think both of them are the best option for making imaginary scene, ma'am.
um okay, that's what you think. And what about Nadim? What do you feel about this thing?
Ma'am, I think as a reader, I always prefer read any text or any kind of book, and I also uh, feeling pleasure when I can imagine, and now it's occurred or it's happening there. Um, for example, when I was reading uh, The Blue Moon Beach, written by C. Murray, Tim and Sammy were going to the beach, and uh, they were walking inside of the beach, and after that uh, they are swimming as well. And in that time, I'm thinking and I'm create a world there for imagine, and it's it's happen
For
real life.
imagination.
Yes, ma'am.
Nadim, for imagination.
For imagination, and it's happening in my in front of my eyes. So it's the main thing. But when you are watching television, that in that time television had happened two things. You are listening and you watching at both time, but you can't imagine. So a reader to imagine when he is watching something. So I think reading text or reading books is more uh, more preferable to imagine any kind of scene or any kind of situation.
Okay, Nadim. Okay. Um, Now, Piyash, what do you feel about this thing? Do you feel that books are more convenient, or watching television, or watching any videos, watching any movies are more preferable, or it gets you the more imaginatory, brings you into a more imaginative world, or the books make you do that?
Okay, ma'am. It's really a debatable issue. The question about imagination by reading a book or watching a television, where some people say that reading book is more perfect, where some protest this argument. They says about the television because they believe that when a producer or a director make a scene or make a movie, obviously they try to give their best knowledge by their own experience of life, by reading book or from their imagination power. So it is the reflective of their imagination. Benefited or uh, they have mm, the power to imagine the scene when watching the television program. Um, and if you see the latest movies or some latest series of the television, especially I can say Hollywood series or movies, they try to show a different type of scenario, uh, and it's the beyond of our imagination, and it's really amazing and helpful to a person to imagine a different kind of thing or different world. For example, I can say about a movie, Martin, where a hero went on the march, and that time uh, he uh, he was injured by a storm, and their satellite uh, went through him, ma'am. And he was alone on the Mars, and however he can manage to live there, and it's really amazing. And a movie is a short time of short time duration give you a proper knowledge about the whole things. Uh, so it's the differ from human choice. So if you say about my opinion, I obviously go with the reading book, because in my case, when I read the book, I feel I am in the spot, and I feel I am there, and I feel the reader's mind. Mm, It's my case, and for example, if I can say about the epic হাজার বছর ধরে written by Johir Raihan, in this um,
হাজার
novella.
বছর ধরে, isn't it a novel? I I think
Ma'am,
it's a
it's
novel.
a
It's not.
yes, ma'am, it's a novel, ma'am.
Yes, it's not an epic actually. Yes, yes.
Okay, ma'am. So in this novel,
Did you?
the Johir Raihan,
Sorry, Pierce. Sorry, Pierce. I'm interrupting you. Did you read this novel in your? Did you have this novel in your class 10's syllabus, Bengali
yes,
syllabus?
yes, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Yes, we had that. And what about now, Nadim and Mamun? Did you also have this in your Bengali syllabus, or did it change?
No, ma'am.
Maybe
I'm a
it
student
changed,
of
ma'am.
madrasa background, ma'am. That's why I didn't read it.
Ma'am,
Oh,
now it is changed,
yes.
ma'am. Now it is changed, ma'am. And they include Abdullah.
Oh, Abdullah. It's written by whom?
I don't know, ma'am. Maybe
Okay, okay.
uh, it was also included before us, ma'am.
Okay, okay. All right, all right. Oh, so
Yes,
then
ma'am.
maybe it changed. Right, right.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
okay. Go on, Yash.
So uh, my point that when I read Hajar Bachar Dhore, the writer uh, uh, say about a the writer says about a road, and the road goes through like a python, man. So if uh, the director or a producer try to make a cinematic scene like a road, he cannot express that thought that the road go through like a python. They can make a scene like a python road, but they have no power in this scene to provide a thought the road go through like a python. So when I read this, I feel the moment the road go through like a python, like a curly way. So I feel the better sense to
Okay, Piyash, it's Ajan time, so I think we
okay,
should
ma'am.
take 1 minute
Okay,
rest, right?
okay, okay, ma'am.
Mm,
Okay,
mm,
ma'am.
mm. Okay. So the thing that
Okay,
you were
ma'am.
saying.
Okay, ma'am. So my argument is, if uh, I need the entertainment, I go with the thought of television series or television uh, movies, and if I need to gain a better knowledge or uh, to gain a specific knowledge about a scene or about a topic, I obviously go through reading, ma'am. And it is also said that television also give knowledge, but it's not a small or a particular analysis. It gives the it gives the bigger knowledge, ma'am, not a specific knowledge, and but it gives people better entertainment rather than knowledge, ma'am. It's my thought, ma'am.
Right. Thank you, Piyush. Thank you. Uh, Actually, it's so true because if you two or three short stories of Tagore that I went through once when I was in class 10, or maybe after I finished my class 10th examination, I went through the almost maybe there were 350 or something short stories. So the first one was maybe Ghatir Kotha, but and the second one was Rajpather Kahini, like this. These were the names. So they were the autobiographies written, like a biography that was written by Tagore, and it was written as like the Rajpath is writing about himself. And what if he could talk, and what if he could say things by himself? So that was the situation. So if you think that it was shown into a television show, then would it have been that much creative, or would it look that much beautiful the way we get to imagine things while reading it? Maybe not, because um I think then it will become a funny thing to listen to to a road talking, right? So that's one thing. Then in the other thing, I feel that in horror there are genre, right, that horror movies. So in horror movies and horror novels, whenever I read a horror, not like novel, but I just read some horror stories, and there are some there was a FM radio, and it maybe, and in when it was I maybe I don't know. Still, it happens or not. They still tells the stories or not. I don't know. But there was a time like they in on every Friday they played some stories, and like one speaker or one narrator will tell you the stories, and you will just hear it. So it's not the watching. You will have to imagine things, right? So I think it becomes more mysterious whenever you are reading something, or maybe listening to some stories, or whatever the situation is. Your imagination becomes more vivid, more wilder than you that it happened in reality, maybe. So I think that's another point, that the thing. And also, whenever you watch things through television on, or maybe a horror movie you are watching through television, then it becomes the scenarios, it becomes actually, and that you cannot actually focus onto one thing. And while there is a cinema going on the television, you have to look at the characters, and how they look, how they dress up, how they actually um, behave, how's the surroundings like, and all of the things you have to notice, and while doing that sometimes you forget, and you forget to imagine things because everything is ready at your hand. So I feel personally that I agree with all of you that of course that reading is more preferable than, or more preferable to uh, watching anything, any kind of videos, any kind of movies, or any kind of series. Yes, that's the thing. I guess I feel right. So
Ma'am, the program name is Bhoot FM, and there is still going on, ma'am. The program,
what what kind of program? Yes,
ma'am. The program name
Bhoot
is
FM.
Bhoot FM.
Bhoot
Yes,
FM.
ma'am.
Bhoot FM.
Yes,
Oh, it is still on, right?
yes, ma'am.
Wow.
It's still on, ma'am. And if you say about the horror movies or horror uh, story, ma'am, I feel more fear by watching television, ma'am. But if you say
Yes,
about
yes,
imagination,
yes.
ma'am, yes, ma'am. If you say about imagination, obviously, I uh, can create more imaginary scene when I read the story. But if you say about the fear or feelings, ma'am, but I feel more fear by watching television. This type of series, ma'am.
Yes, Piyash. Yes, Piyash. Actually, we had a topic when we completed our we were doing our graduation, and there was a paper, and it was named as film and fiction. So, which one is more preferable, like film or fiction? So, then one of our teachers said that. While whenever we watch a horror movie, what happens? There is a like huge role of sound, the quality of sounds. Because like whenever you watch a movie, but right, a book cannot give you any sounds, right? But you can feel the horror is given to you, and the cinemas all, of course, that they provide you that kind of sound and suspicious sounds, and the suspicion they create just by just by the sounds. And actually, if you think properly, there are many, I don't know if I'm criticizing it in the right way, but I feel like there are many horror movies. If you cut out the sounds, they will become nothing like a joker, or like they will get into more funny things. But uh, because of the sound effect, we feel more afraid. That's the thing, I guess. Because there was a movie and its name was Pari. It wasn't even a horror movie, but actually, I went to watch that movie in cinema hall. So after watching the movie, I don't know, it was maybe in 2019, and after that, it's 2023. Still now, I can't get to watch any kind of horror films. So it had such a huge uh, effect on my psychology, I think. So maybe that the main reason the story was not horrified or anything horrendous, nothing else, but the sound and the psychological effect that it creates into the viewer's eyes. I think that was the reason that I am still being unable to watch those things. But I can read, of course. I read those, but I can't um actually watch those things. Maybe that's the main reason in horror movies that happens, that we cannot feel like we feel more afraid while watching it. But the moment you get to watch, the moment you get to see the face, see the face of the evil thing or the devil thing, then what makes it more horrible or make it more fearful. But I think I felt it a way that whenever I already watched the devil's face, then I forget to imagine it, and then I will not be. And if I think that, oh, it's just a makeup, it's nothing else, it's a performance of a like a person, then I think it goes away. The afraidfulness, that the fearfulness, it gets away from me. I think that's. But while you are reading a thing, whenever you read and you can't imagine how they looked or what they looks like, then you become more fearful. That's the thing I feel actually. Yes, right. So do you, anybody, one of you, do you want to say, like, do you have any like different opinion about this, or all of you agree with me?
Okay, ma'am. I agree with you, ma'am.
Okay, all right then. All right then, I think I will end the class here today, right? And we will discuss. Also, should I do one thing, that should I send you the topics that I am asking you randomly? Should I send you the topics beforehand so that you can think of it for some time and you can discuss it? We can discuss it in the class in a detailed way. Should I do that? Will it be more helpful?
I think, ma'am, it should not be, because when you give a statement and a question in front of us, that time some information, that's when it is creative for me. When you will give this statement, give this question in our group, we will search in Google and we will know about it. I think instant question, it will be very helpful and creative for me, ma'am.
All right, Mamun. All right, then I will do that. Then I will do that. Right. So, I will
Ma'am, I
start.
also agree with Mamun, ma'am,
All right, Piyash. I will
because
do the same then.
ma'am, we need the power to speech like a instant moment, ma'am.
Hmm. Right.
Ma'am,
Then,
in this case, ma'am, you may provide us another uh, ma'am source of ma'am listening or reading or writing task, ma'am. But in the speaking class, it's okay, ma'am.
okay. All right. Then I will do that. Whatever suits, whatever you feel better. So I will do that. Right. So right now I will end this class here. And I don't know how, like, for how many times you will be able to get into the other class. So I will start the other class maybe in Bangladeshi time 9:15. Will that be okay for you? Because I think you will have another online class and you will not be able to have your dinner. So I will give you 30 minutes. Okay, that means 9:15 we will start our next class. Is that all right? Right. So I'm ending the class here today, and we will meet in our next class.
Ma'am, ma'am,
Yes, please.
ma'am, I uh, read the routine, ma'am. So is that okay today, ma'am? The class or it's the routine, ma'am?
What, Piyash? I couldn't understand.
Ma'am, it is the routine class of speaking, ma'am.
Actually, I did this one because actually I feel that most of you won't be able to join because you also, whenever I shift the class in on the 9:30 p.m., then you don't get to join the class, and Mamun, Nadim, and everyone else, they have their online classes then. So that's why I shifted the class in this time. That's the
So,
reason
ma'am,
actually.
so what about the regularity, ma'am?
Uh, no,
Will
no,
it, ma'am, will it
no,
start in this time, ma'am?
no, actually, this class, it had to go on from the mentioned time that I already gave you, and I think, let me see, it's which day? It's Thursday, right? So it had to start from 9:20. Maybe it was the time for spoken class, but as you won't be able to join that class, the most of them. That's why I shifted this class, and I will uh, take the other class, the basic English grammar class, on the next schedule. That's what I did.
I cannot join in this time, ma'am.
All right, so I can, of course, I can change the timing. I can change the timing. I can send it, I can reschedule it. And I can change the timing, of course, for you, if you all of you, because whatever suits you, and I have my time, so I will do that, right? So now I will take a break and we will meet after 30 minutes. Right, I'm taking leave.